Hi, I'm Paula and welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is the first in a series of tips and tricks for face painting. Now I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be rock and roll, there's going to be no fancy special effects or anything, just me, the camera and the tools I need to do the job. Tools are very important, but don't think that you have to use the exact things that I'm using, it's what's right for you. I will just show you the way to achieve something and it's how you put it together. Face painting, like a lot of things, is just a recipe. You've got your ingredients and then it's how you put them together that makes it work. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the base. Unless you're doing a one-stroke design, which we'll cover later on in the series, putting a base down is the foundation on which the rest of your design is built. And to cover a large area of skin, whether you're doing face or body painting, you want to use either a sponge or a large brush. Today I'm going to be using a sponge. This one is already loaded, but I'm going to reload it to show you how it's done. I've got my water bottle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz my sponge a couple of times. You only want a damp sponge, you don't want a wet sponge, and you can always add if there's not enough water on it. So I put my sponge to my cake. In this instance, I'm using a single colour. And what you want to do is dab or swipe on it until it looks like it's almost dry. If it still looks wet, you've not loaded enough and you've not got the right consistency on your sponge. Once it starts to look dry, then you're done. And the best thing to do for applying to the skin is to dab. Now I'm using a board here. These boards are fantastic for design placement, you know, for trying things out and for seeing how a design will look. But for application of paint, there is no substitute for real skin. There really isn't. And the reason I'm doing dabbing is because if you were to do a swipe like this, you can get lines in it and you can get it looking really, really uneven, and then you've got to go back over it to fix it. So dabbing does tend to give you a better, smoother base without any patchiness and without any stripes. Now the other option, if you don't want to use single colours, is to use what's called a split cake. This is basically a cake that's got lots of different colours already in it. The principle for wetting your sponge is exactly the same, but loading is slightly different. You've got to follow the colours of the cake. It's no good trying to circle round or trying to load that way because you'll just end up with a mess. You've got to load in exactly the same direction that your colours go. And then laying them down onto the skin, follow the same process. You need to move in the direction that the paints go as well to get a lovely blended, in this instance, rainbow. If you try to do it the wrong way, you get a muddy mess. Okay, so working on the principle that we don't have any split cakes and we want to do blending on the face, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load my second colour. I'm just going to dampen my sponge again and load in the same way, swiping until the paint is dry. And then to blend, all you do is lay down your second colour wherever you want it to be next to your original colour, and then you start to gently go over where you put your first colour down. Now, this is easier on skin than it is on a board. I'm not going to lie. And you can also turn your sponge back round and go back in with the purple if you want to blend it a bit more that way. It's just a case of trial and error and getting it to look how you want it to look. But there you go, your colours nicely blended into each other. So, if you like the idea of the split cake and how it all blended for you when you put it on the skin, so you didn't have to do any blending, you can do a similar effect with your single colours. However, you're not going to get as many colours on as this. It would just be too fiddly and take too long. But you can do it really well with 2, 3 or even 4 colours. So what you do is you load your sponge like this. You pick up your first colour. If we're doing 2, you pick up your first colour, load it on the sponge in exactly the same way we did the first time. Flip your sponge over, so then we're loading this end. Again, exactly the same way we did. And then when you put these down on the skin, they look like this on the sponge, and when you put them down on the skin, like that, they're blending for you. Okay, if you wanted to do it with 3 colours, you need to do your middle colour first. So I know this sponge is already loaded and this is going to be a bit messy. But what I would do is I would pull back the ends of the sponge like that, so that the middle bit is sticking up. And then I'm just going to get a random colour that might show up. So you load your middle colour first on the sticky uppy bit, and then you've got your other 2 colours which you would then load like that and like that. And then when you put them down onto the skin, the 3 of them blend. Okay? Well, I hope that has helped you. I will be doing more basic face painting tip videos, so please keep an eye out for those, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.